Abram is called by God in Genesis 12. We have no idea why Abram was chosen. We don't know anything about this guy. He's just living with his dad till he's like 85. He's kind of a bum, honestly. So if you think that millennials won't leave their parents' basement, it's been going on well since Abram, everybody, okay? By the way, this is before video games, before smart. What is this guy doing? And his dad. And literally God says, leave your father's home and go on an adventure. And we have no idea why God chose him. We have no idea. He's not that impressive of a person, honestly. But he was willing. He was not talented. He was not handsome. He wasn't necessarily courageous. But he was the most important thing for a believer. He was willing. It says in Genesis 22, and it's one of the least understood stories in the Bible, where, some people say, oh, did God want Abraham to kill his son? No. And by the way, the whole story of Genesis 22 is really about Jesus. The whole story is about Jesus as the true sacrifice. But it says right there in Genesis 22 that God was testing Abraham. But the angel of the Lord, the messenger of the Lord, called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And how does Abraham respond? Here I am. Send me. Tell me, God, what to do. And you might say, yeah, I'm ready. Abraham, all of a sudden, they said, okay, you got to sacrifice your son. The son, by the way, that he never thought he would have. What was his son's name? Which means laughter. Why'd they name him Laughter? Because they laughed at the prospect that they would ever have a kid. This is a kid they could not believe actually existed. A kid, they said, oh, come on, I'm like 195 years old. Sarah's not going to have a kid. They have this son that's literally called Laughter, and God says, do you really follow me? Do you really follow me? And Abraham says, here I am. Now, Abraham passed that test, and that is the reason eventually that we know that Abraham means father of nations, that the covenant was started. The covenant leads all the way to Jesus Christ in an uninterrupted line that leads us here tonight. Abraham was tested. Many of you are going through a test right now, I guarantee it. You might have gotten a diagnosis from the doctor that's not that great. Your spouse might be dealing with something. You might be going through a divorce. You might say, I don't need this here I am stuff because my life was too hard. What did Abraham say when his life was hard and he was tested? Here I am. Every single one of us goes through times of tests and trials. And you say, God, use me. What do you want from me during this trial?